Hello, friend. Welcome to today's exercise. Today's exercise will be focusing on command and control. We'll be deploying a C2 agent to our already compromised system. This will enable us to carry post-exploitation activities such as maintaining persistence and moving laterally in the network. As Elliot, we will continue monitoring the system and the network with our tools like Splunk, being the SIM we are using, and Wireshark for packet capture. As you can see, I've already deployed and installed Mythic framework. The step-by-step procedure of deploying the Mythic framework, I will leave a link in the description for those who are interested in deploying the C2 Mythic framework. Now, before we get started, we have to make sure that all our monitoring tools are up and running. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, now we are on our victim machine. We're going to enable remote event collections from Splunk. So what we're going to do is just click on enable. Okay, now that our remote event collection is enabled, as you can see here, is enabled. Every event that is occurring in this victim machine will be forwarded to Splunk for further investigation. And let's move over to our pfSense for packet capture. Yes, you have to input 0 in this packet length. If not, after the count is up to 1,000 packets, it stops collecting. Now you make sure that your promiscuous mode is checked. You leave every other thing as default. To start your packet capture, you click Start, push the Start button, you scroll down. It just started capturing packets. As you can see, the packets are moving. Now, I will also use my Wireshark in packet capture. Now, how to capture the one for the Ethernet. Double click on the Ethernet. Okay, packet capture is live. Now, after the packet capture, we have to jump over to our Kali Linux our tab box. Input the password. Now back to our tab box. We have to generate a C2 agent that will deploy to the victim machine via our reverse shell. Before we generate the agent, let's talk about Mythic operations. Mythic normally groups its activity into operation. Now, the default operation is Operation Chimera. Now we have to click on New Operation. We'll name it Operation Eco. We keep it simple. And after that, you hit Submit. It has been created. You click on Make it current. We've made it our current operation. Now, after that, what we're going to do is to generate payload. You click on Payloads or click on Create Payload. The type of payload, select the operating system. You select Windows because that's what we are working for. The type of payload that you want to is Apollo. Then after that, we click Next. You select the type of build. Now we leave it at Windows executable because that's what we are going for the type of file we are building. Then you click on the next. Now these are the commands available. So we choose all the commands by clicking here. This will enable more flexibility when we are in our victim machine. So we click next. Select C2 profile to include HTTP. We leave it at default HTTP. Then we'll click next. Or no C2 profile, you want to continue. So we included this HTTP, include profile. Click on include profile. Yes, since we are making use of HTTP, we will edit the callback host should be HTTP. Then the callback IP will be our attack IP, which is our domain, which is our Calibers IP, which is 10.0.3.16. But I have to confirm this, so let's confirm it. Let's confirm our attack IP, IPR 10.0.3.16, 10.0.3.16. I will scroll down. Use the user agent. The queue date. Let's set the queue date. The queue date means how long you want the agent to be active in the victim machine. So let me set it to 1 month. Let me select the next June. Okay, let's just make it about. Let's select June 7. After June 7, it kills it. We will leave every other thing as default. Then you click next. Then you have to give a description. So we'll give it, we change this from Apollo to Darlene. That's the name of our payload. Then you click on create payload. You can see payload is being generated, is building. When you look at this status bar, once it's done building, you can download the payload and then be able to deploy it to our victim machine. So let's wait for the payload to be done building. This payload will enable us to carry out post-exploit activities like maintaining persistence, moving laterally in the victim machine. Okay, the payload is ready for download. You can click the download there. Now that we have our payload downloaded, we need to make sure that it's actually downloaded. We pull up our terminal. Now we check it should be in the download folder. So we see it to the downloads. Now let's do ls. As you can see, that's the only file in the download, darlene.exe. So we have to move it to the desktop. mv darlene. Now let's go and check if it actually moved. ls, as you can see it here, darling.exe, darling.exe. So the next thing we're going to do is to move and deploy it to our victim machine. So we do that using the reverse shell that we already have. Now we use this command. So we use this PowerShell command to deploy our C2 agent to our victim machine. Now what this PowerShell command does is it uses invoke web request. It connects to our attack machine, then downloads the C2 agent, darling.exe, then it outputs it to our victim machine under the user pprice in the downloads folder. Then it executes it. So click, let's click enter. Then it executes it. After executing the command, we have to check our active callbacks in our Mythic C2 framework. So as you can see, you already have an agent reporting. The user is pprice, domain is equal. So this is our beacon checking in. So what we can do to check if we actually have remote execution on our C2 framework is to interact with the agent. So to interact with the agent, you have to tax the agent. So we are taxing the agent with, let's just use the who am I command. Now we've tax the agent. The agent has checked in. So normally when you tax an agent, it has to check in to receive the tax. Sometimes it has to check in twice before carrying out the tax. As you can see, it has carried out the tax. The impersonation ID of the person is pprice and is a domain account, equal domain. So technically, what we were able to achieve is compromise a victim system through phishing email. From there, we had access to remote execution via the reverse shell. So from the reverse shell, we were able to set up a C2 framework. From there, we were able to deploy the agent to our victim. From the victim, our C2 agent to the victim. From there, we were able to access the compromised system from our Mythic C2 dashboard. Now, in the coming videos, we will establish persistence and move laterally in this network. This is practically how adversaries have access to your system and how they move laterally. So on the blue team perspective, we'll be recording every movement conducted by our red team side. So the next video, we will continue from where we stop.